Hello everyone, it's Justin here again, aka Justin Lambchop on Twitter, back to make another blog video, the last one of the Grand Prix series before the final 2015 NHK Trophy. So before I get started on my thoughts and opinions of the event, I wanted to give a few shoutouts to 4 of my Twitter followers. They are Classy Skates on Twitter, Roaring Mice, Gail Duffy, and also Caroline. It's been awesome tweeting with you all season long, and I don't know what the Twitter universe in the figure skating world would be without each and every one of you to contribute all of your amazing thoughts via Twitter. Okay, so let's get started with this competition. Let's start off with the men's field, which I thought was the highlight of the entire event. Of course, everyone has to talk about Yuzuru Hanyu, reigning Olympic champion, breaking 3 world records here this weekend. Wow, let's start with the short program. Amazing. So he put 2 quad jumps in his short, and it was very successful. He had a humongous score. I believe it was 106, something along those lines. Now let's put that in comparison to what is considered a good score for the average skater. Most people would consider, if you're a male skater, anything above 80 to be good, anything above 90 to be exceptionally good, such as Javier Fernandez, Boyang Jin from China. So Yuzuru got 106, blows everyone else out of the water because he successfully landed his quad sal and quad toe. His quad sal, it was a close one, but it was in the beginning of the program, and he was able to hold on just enough to do a spread eagle right outside of it. And I thought he performed really well. Everything was on about that short program. I mean, you name it. Spins, jumps, attention to detail with the music, reaching out to the audience. It's just all very good. Hanyu just came out and reminded everyone why he is the reigning Olympic champion, and to kind of show off why he most likely will be Olympic champion again. He didn't seem fatigued at all. Even in his long program, gosh, I think that is hands down the best long program I've seen Yuzuru skate. 3 quads, wow, it was all so good. I mean, spins, everything. The most important part that I took away from his long program was that at the end, he did not look like he was out of breath like he has in the past. So I would say that means that he's in really good shape, recovered from injury, no signs of any kind of weakness in the knees at all. The jumps were just so light, and I think everything was perfect. I mean, what other word do you use to describe Yuzuru at this competition? He blew everyone out of the water. Total score ended up being quite a bit over 300, and that's a hard achievement to have. That's pretty unreachable for the average male skater on the international scene, and Yuzuru Hanyu just did it. I don't know what else to say. He is amazing. I can sit here and just say those 4 words all over and over again, but I will not. So let's move on to the winner of the silver medal, which is Chinese skater Boyang Jin, who also was very impressive as well. We saw him a few weeks ago at the Cup of China, where he debuted a beautiful quad lutz and plenty of other quadruple jumps in his programs. And this weekend at NHK Trophy was no different. He did the quad lutz really good, set himself in a good position in the short program. When we saw him a few weeks ago, a lot of us criticized his skating skills and his artistry, which are not great. I don't think he improved his artistry, but I enjoyed watching his short program here at NHK better than Cup of China. So I think he's grown as a skater in the few weeks. Not many changes to choreography or technique, but I feel like he gave it more in the short program. He was more excited, paid attention to the choreography. Like I said, I don't think it much changed, but he just paid attention to it more. Still has shallow edges when he skates, but hey, if you could do a quad lutz, complete all your spins, man, respect to you. So Boyang Jin definitely delivered in the short program. Enjoyed watching him there. I love the upbeat music. For the long program, I thought it was quite messy. The hard part with Boyang Jin is that he does not have good program component marks, which is the artistry marks. They are in the mid sevens, and I even think that's being very generous. I believe in both the short and the long program, he received an 8 for skating skills, which is kind of laughable to me. I understand that he's getting his artistry marks padded because he's successfully completing the difficult technical elements. So the judges are kind of saying, if you can complete these difficult jumps, quadruple jumps cleanly, consistently, we'll reward you with higher program component marks than you deserve. So that's what's going on with Boyang. Hopefully that's a little controlled, becomes more controlled in the future, because I really think his program component marks are pretty high. But in the long program, I thought it was very sloppy. Sure, he landed a clean quad lutz in the beginning of the program. Messed up on a lot of other jumping passes. Gosh, doubled an intended quad toe, stepping out of quite a few jumps. A lot of messy landings here and there. And if you look at his protocol sheet, a lot of minuses on the GOEs. And I actually think it heavily took away from his program. I did not enjoy watching him skate that long program, even the elements in between the jumps and the spins. I don't feel like he was giving it as much as he did in the short program. Maybe he was thinking too much about his mistakes and wanted, to make up for it. But that was unfortunate. But bottom line is that I think we've only seen the beginning of Boyang Jin. He is hopefully going to continue to improve his artistry. It's going to take a while. He's 18, but I think he has time. Hopefully he can become something very great at the age of 20 or 21. Or maybe even make a big splash at the upcoming Olympics in Korea. You never know. It's definitely a possibility. But yeah, someone who I think did have better artistry than Boyang Jin is the winner of the bronze medal. So it's Takahito Mura. Did I say that right? I hope so. I'm horrible with names. Sorry, everybody. Fellow skater from Japan who actually skated really well here. His highlight was definitely in the short program. Takahito kind of fell off the radar for me in the past few seasons. Just didn't think of him that much, but he kind of came back with a bang this weekend at NHK Trophy with that short program. Love the costuming. I think that's the right kind of music. It's very explosive, strong, and powerful, and it allows him to play to his strengths, which is being very theatrical a little bit. Like I said, landed a quad. Everything was clean. Great skate in the short program. He was just behind Yuzuru and Boyang Jin of China because he doesn't have that second quad in the short program. So it's hard to kind of make up the points in the technical side of your score. But his program component marks were a little higher than Boyang Jin's. I actually disagreed with that. I think they should be a lot higher, but I'm not a judge, so my opinion does not matter. He also was able to hold it together enough in the free program because he was actually fit in the long program segment, but was able to maintain a third place finish overall. So I like the long program, still saw really strong aspects of his skating. Connection with the music. It helped that he did not crumble skating in front of the home crowd, but just a little I think one or two tiny little errors. I can't remember what they are, but something held him back technically. His program component marks were still, though, above Boyang Jin's. I like Takahito, and I want to see him improve. I want to see him kind of take the next step on the international scene. But right now, it just kind of seems like he's a third-ranked skater, male skater in Japan, behind Yuzuru and Shoma Uno. But hopefully he keeps improving. Maybe he can get two quads in the long, or maybe in the shorts, and then he can compete with them in the future. But it would be interesting to see how he grows. And then let's talk about the American skater Grant Hochstein. Am I saying that right? Probably not. Hochstein, and who finished in fourth place and really made a very good impression on his first season with two Grand Prix on the senior circuit. He had a pretty good short program, landed the quad toe cleanly, like full rotation, but he received a lot of negative marks on the grade of execution aspect of that element, which I thought was really harsh on the judges. It got a lot of -2s, 1s, and even like a -3 when it wasn't a fall. He just had to fight for that landing. Didn't put the foot down, so the judges were being harsh with him there. Landed a clean triple axel. Was only able to pull off a triple Lutz double toe combination, so he would have been placed much higher if he had the triple back there in the second half of his short program. But overall, a very good short program, was clean. He got to show off his artistic side to the world again, which is great. He kind of reminds me of a young Jeremy Abbott or an up-and-coming Jeremy Abbott, just because he has the artistic ability, like really good skating skills. His program component marks are in the solid mid-7s. I think they're there just because he's a newer skater on the scene. I think if he continues to have impressive outings at Grand Prix and major competitions, that can definitely go up. So let's hope for that. And then the long program was where I was most impressed with Grant. He skated so beautifully to his Les Mis programs, one of my favorites. Feels the music, is very a lyrical skater, takes his time with the choreography, nothing's rushed. Very, very easy on the ice in terms of skating on the ice. Again, landed a clean quad toe. I think that's going to be his money jump if he continues to be clean on it and stay on his feet, because the one in the long program was rewarded. Positive grades of execution, fully rotated, and he went on to land everything else in his program. It was so good. Beautiful spins. Love the presentation that he has. Grant has a bright future ahead of him if he continues down this route of skating really well. 2 fourth place finishes on your first year on the Grand Prix series. I hope the USFSA really rewards him somehow. He could be a contender for the world team when he competes at nationals in about a month and a half. So you never know what can happen. But I think good things are in the horizon for Grant. All right, let's move on to the next discipline. Let's talk about pairs. So, to no surprise to many, the Canadians, reigning world champions, Meagan Duhamel and Eric Radford, won the title. And congratulations to them. But it wasn't a perfect skate for them, either in the short or the long program. I love both of their music selections. Ugh. Our song is the short, and then the free skate is also very beautiful. Love their coordinating outfits. They are a really strong technical team, so we see them going for the difficult technical elements, which is a risk. And the short program, not any major mistakes. The only thing was that Eric put his hand down on the side-by-side triple Lutz. Still, they ended up on top. Presentation, technical score, beats everyone else out of the water. And the free program, things kind of fell apart. Let's see if I can remember what happened. I think they had a few errors on their technical elements. They went for the quadruple throw Salchow, and that was unsuccessful. Meagan ended up falling on that. And then she had to step out of her throw triple Lutz. I feel like there was one more jumping error as well. So they have some work to do, but they won the gold medal here, and they qualified for the Grand Prix final. So that's super awesome. It's going to be nice to see how they compare to the other top teams in the same competition. I haven't really kept up on what the other top pair teams have scored in their Grand Prix events, so it'll be a new and surprising thing for me to see. But I did compare Meagan and Eric's program component marks to their skates in Skate Canada this season, and they do get high program component marks, so solid mid eights. But it is good to note that in Skate Canada, in the short program, I think they scored 1 point higher in their program component marks there, and they scored 3 points higher in components for their long program Skate Canada. So obviously, I think that's due to the home crowd boost, but it'll be interesting to see how their program component marks are at the Grand Prix final and how successful they and the other top teams are with attempting their really difficult quad elements. They're going for their quad throw sal. So we'll see if that's going to be landed in Barcelona at the Grand Prix final. Now, the winner of the silver medals are the Chinese teams, and I'm going to look up their names because I'm just the worst. So it goes to Xiaoyu and Yang Jin. I actually was impressed with them this weekend. I think their short program, which was really clean, they were actually third in the short program, just barely behind Alexa and Chris. But this team, I think, looks good together on the ice. They gel really well. They do a really good job of embodying two skating as one, I feel. Very soft presentation on the ice, and really nice. They have really nice qualities because I can tell they pay attention to the music. Beautiful music choices. What's going to help them take the next step in the figure skating world is I think they need a stronger presence. So they're good with each other. They're a good match. They do really great technical elements, but I just want them to project a little more. That's probably why they were behind Alexa and Chris in the short program. They were able to move up to second place overall because in their long program, they were clean enough, also went for the throw quadruple sal, and it didn't work out at all. One other minor error, but they were able to hold off Alexa and Chris by about 1 point. So it was really close, but a strong Chinese pair team. I'm excited to see what they can do in the future. If they're clean, I may prefer them over Sui and Han because I've just seen them make mistakes lately, but really great presentation skills. I'm a fan of this pair team. And then now let's discuss my favorite pair team from the USA, Alexa Scimeca and Chris Knierim. Did a really good job here. They have a lot of things to be proud of. Another high score of 68 in the short program. Loving their Metallica music. Alexa gives face, just as strong and fierce as ever. I love her landing positions on the throw flip. That girl is like a cat, and she knows how to hold that position and extend her leg. Oh, it's just very beautiful. The only tiny error that they had was that Chris Knierim put his hand down on their side-by-side sal, but that's still an accomplishment because he stayed on his feet, no one fell, and they were still in second place at a major competition. Now, in the long program, as I mentioned before, they just lost a silver medal by about 1 point. And the error I think that did it was on their throw quad twist. That quad twist is usually their money element in the free program, but they did a step out in the catch at the end. So that really hurt them in the grade of execution points. Another error that they made was on the triple toe, double toe, my bad, a combination. I think Chris fell out of his and the double toe was not credited at all. So they have some things to work on still, but I think this is actually a step up from their Skate America performance in the long program. I actually thought they looked like they had a stronger presence. They come off on the ice and they give a vibe that they're ready to compete with the top guns. And they're very confident, and I like that about Alexa and Chris. And that kind of attitude, I think, is what it takes to help the American teams propel onward internationally with the other pairs. They qualified for the Grand Prix finals. That's amazing. They have a lot of things to be excited for. Two Grand Prix medals, and then qualifying for the final. That alone, they should be extremely happy about. I'm not sure what their goal should be for the final. I think qualifying is good enough. Maybe definitely not last place, potentially fourth. We'll see what they end up doing. But I hope they skate really well. And Delilah, their coach, coached the last team, American team that also made the Grand Prix final. So I think they're in good hands. Okay, now let's talk about the last discipline, the ladies. Some people may describe the ladies' discipline at NHK Trophy this weekend quite sloppy, kind of a mess, and I definitely agree with those statements. It was surprising. I have this theory that the ladies were watching the men and were so impressed that they thought too much in their heads to try to outskate them to get the audience really pumped up and riled up for all of their performances, and that in turn backfired. So as a figure skater, you probably shouldn't think too much in your head. Just be focused, go out there and be on autopilot to complete your elements. But let's just go through all the skaters. Congratulations to the gold medal winner in her home country, Satoko Miyahara. She, I think, was the cleanest, maybe one of the only skaters who skated clean in the ladies field. Her short program, I don't know what about her short program but at NHK, but when I watched it, I was mesmerized. And I haven't been mesmerized by Satoko before. It seems like her jump rotations are getting better, and she's not getting more height, so I think it's even faster rotations. Completed an amazing triple Lutz, triple toe combination. Was really fast. I love her spins. Gosh, this girl is like a nutcracker on the ice. The one tiny error she had was, I think, an edge call on the triple flip. But even with that, she still won the short program segment with a score of 69. Amazing girl. In the long program, still really clean. I'm trying to think what her mistakes were. I think she fell out of a few jumps. Definitely the opening combination. So she was not perfect, but she was good enough to win, especially compared to everybody else. I think this is a great feat for her to win in Japan over Mao Asada. Like, qualifying for the finals, she's got to have some really good confidence going into Barcelona in 2 weeks for the Grand Prix final. She should be excited. I think she can shoot for winning a medal there. That's definitely not outside the realm of possibilities for her, but it's going to be tough if everyone is on their A game. I believe if Satoko skates her short program perfectly clean, that maybe her score can only be as high as a 71, whereas Mal can get like a 74. Elena Radionova could probably get a 73. Gracie Gold 73 as well. So Satoko is gonna have to be clean, perfectly clean, and rely on mistakes from others in Barcelona. So let's hope for the best for her. Now let's move on to the winner of the silver medal. Surprise silver medal winner here from Team USA, Courtney Hicks. Congratulations to her. Her first ever medal on the Grand Prix, and to have it be a silver nonetheless is amazing. Her free program, though, was not. I'll get back to that in a little bit. Where she really impressed everybody here was in her short program, where all of her jumps were fully rotated. That triple flip, triple toe, fully rotated. She did it, but she had to do the turns in between, which was really unnecessary. I think she just overcooks a lot of her jumps, which happens a little too often, so I'm starting to wonder about her training and her technique. Maybe she has an issue with nerves or excitement getting in the way during competitions, but she has to learn to control that, because she is a potential threat to the other ladies, especially the US ladies with nationals coming up, if she lands everything perfectly clean. Her triple Lutz was amazing. Double axel, great. I love her short program too, The Feeling Begins. I think it's a good music choice for her. But the long program, oof, had a lot of wonky landings on her jumps, had a fall. You could tell that her jumps are still explosive, and I'm happy that she did not give up. But I really think the long program is where her weakness is at. Her short program, she was able to, score a solid 65 with negative grade of execution marks for that triple triple combination. But in that free program, oof, that was kind of hard for me to watch. I think seeing her in the kiss and cry after she skated, she was really surprised to learn that she was going to win a medal. So I'm super happy for her. Hopefully she can learn from this experience and potentially make a splash at nationals. We'll see. Now, the surprise, and not in a good way, winner of the bronze medal was Mao Asada on the comeback track from taking a year off of competitive skating. Let's talk about how things kind of did not go as planned. And I, for one, had the opinion that Mao is amazing, an amazing skater. She's not invincible, though, so I don't necessarily think that just because, especially this season, just because Mao is competing at a competition, she's going to blow everyone else out of the water. She's prone to errors just as much as any of the other skaters are as well. The short program, the triple axel was not her friend. She got a under rotation call and then also did a single Lutz, which gave her 0 points. In the short program, you have to land everything or complete the revolutions for a triple to get points. Otherwise, it's an invalidated element and you get nothing. So big loss there. A benefit, though, is that her triple loop was completely ratified on the rotation. So that was really good. But that hurt her in the standings. Also in the long program, looked like she was going for the triple axel. Only made it a double with the heavy 2-foot landing and step out. It was not pretty. Also had other mistakes. And going through her long program, she did not complete a triple-triple combination, which is what you need in this field nowadays. She did a double axel triple toe, but just had trouble with the landing. Still had nice program component marks, but not overly high, in the mid-8s. I think that was rightfully so, but I thought she looked kind of out of it. For sure in the long, or more so in the long, I actually thought she still looked like she enjoyed her short program, which was good. She didn't let the errors affect the rest of her skating. But in the long program, I kind of saw the motivation leave her. She was still able to have some good moments, landing some clean jumps, but I think there were too many errors for it to be that memorable of a performance. So that's unfortunate. Good thing, though, is that she did qualify for the Grand Prix final. We'll see how she does there. I'm not sure how she's going to do there. I'm not making any predictions, but right now I'd say no one is a clear winner of the final, not even Mao Asada. She definitely has a good chance of winning, though, but we'll just have to see. Now let's talk about some other ladies. My girl, Ashley Wagner, also struggled here. The short program, wow. So let's talk about her jumps. So the triple flip did not go as planned. She did a step out and had to add in a double toe after her triple loop at the end of the short program. I want to say something about Ashley. So she's had this before where she doesn't always get that first intended triple combination. It's unfortunate that almost every time that first combination doesn't work out, she never does the second one perfectly. And you have to compare that to the Russians. The Russian girls, they know how to tack on a triple toe after any of the triple jumps. But it almost seems like Ashley thinks about it too much that she can't even land a triple loop double toe cleanly. She's going to have to figure out this mental block of hers because it's not helping her whatsoever right now. The good thing about that short program is that she had the highest program component marks in the short program segment, which is amazing. And I thought she attacked and performed the rest of her program better at NHK than at Skate Canada earlier this season. However, she needs to work on her spins. They were lowered to level 3s instead of level 4s. And Ashley Wagner really lost this competition from her free program skates. She was very tense, tentative, nervous, not free. missing and skipping intentionally some of the choreography movements, I could tell. Missed the triple triple combination in the beginning. The worst part is that both of Ashley Wagner's triple triple combinations, the second jump on each one was called downgraded, not under rotated. And if you all don't know under rotation, if you get an under rotation call on a jump, that's only 70% base value points. And if you get a downgrade, then the points are based off of a double jump instead of a triple. And you also get negative grades of execution, marks of grade of execution. So that really hurt her. It was good to see her improvise and attack. She added on the triple toe at the second triple flip of the competition. Just didn't go her way. Performance-wise, it was not there. She barely makes the Grand Prix final. I think her goal should be not to finish in last place and really try to get a bronze medal again. It's going to take some work, and there's not a lot of time. So I'm wondering if it's more mental refocus that needs to be done than actual skating. Now, let's move on to the last skater I want to discuss. Congratulations to U.S. skater Mirai Nagasu in her only Grand Prix assignment this season. I think she really impressed everybody. Did a really good job. Right now, you know, she shouldn't focus too much on the numbers, on the score, on the placement. It's just how she skates. And that short program of hers, Imagine Dragons, Demons, I love that song, by the way. I think she really made a great impression. She blew me away. I had that YouTube video on repeat because I loved watching her so much. I think the judges were harsh, that triple flip, triple toe, but everything else about her program, even like the movements in between the elements, I thought she had good edges, better speed than I've seen from her in the past. And most importantly, I've said this before, that I think what Mirai lacks, even when she's clean, is that spark in her skating. I saw that spark again in the short program. And that made me really happy to see. So hopefully she can continue on this stride and just keep improving. For the long program, I didn't feel the spark as much, but I thought there was more spark than all of last season. I'm enjoying her Les Mis program, free program, more and more each time I see it. The music cuts are still really interesting. Cute new outfit. Let's see, a lot of under rotation calls. I think I counted 3 from looking at her protocols. So that was pretty unfortunate. But hey, she stayed on her feet. That's a good thing. You know, didn't fall. I liked her short program better. She's going to have to work on making that free program more engaging and more intricate with the choreography. But I'd say, who cares? She did a great job. She should be proud of herself. Good work to her and Tom Z. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching my recap. I will see you all in probably 2 weeks to cover the Grand Prix final. I'm so excited, and I hope you all are just as excited as I am. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.